Sheldon Shorty Pop Watkins. I feel like I can answer those questions about the development just from experience living in the same place. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Octavia, and I am back with another video. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Octavia. I am 23 years old and I'm from Washington, D.C. Specifically, I'm from Berry's Farm, Southeast D.C. And today's video will be on Sheldon Shorty Pop Watkins. Yet again, another highly requested topic and person to speak on my channel. Before we do that, I will be telling you more about me and giving you a breakdown of what I'm going to be talking about, part 1 to part 3. I have a daughter. She is 2, almost 3, and I also have my own business called Crush on You Beauty, handmade cosmetics and skincare. So make sure that you go over to my beauty brand and check it out. So today I will be talking about Shorty Pop. And for those who don't know who Shorty Pop is and why his story is important, I will tell you right now. So this part will be the introduction to Shorty Pop, talking about his influence all across the board, his influence in the streets, whether you call it negative, some would call it positive, as well as his influence in music. And why this is important to note is because if it wasn't for him, a lot of things wouldn't have took place, including Alpo getting cool with Wayne Perry. Okay, if it wasn't for Shorty Pop, Alpo would probably be deceased right now. As I already told you guys, you would really wish that people like this would still be around to give their point of view after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Because he was the person that got cool with Alpo first. And like, nobody's seen this shit coming of him telling on everybody, and I'm sure Shorty Pop would have been one of those too. He told on Wayne Perry, Shorty Pop is no different. Shorty Pop got his name as one of the youngest killers in the district in the 1980s. Well, actually, the 1980s to the 1990s, where he met his demise. In 1989, Shorty Pop became the most wanted fugitive in the district for a number of murders that he allegedly did. First, let's speak on his influence in music. Growing up, the Junkyard band was very popular within the early 2000s, so I can't even imagine, you know, when their first song hit, or even before that, when they got their first record deal, I can't even imagine how proud everyone was. I can't imagine how, you know, important that moment was for DC. You know, them being signed and them being under Def Jam, it really did put DC on the map for more than, you know, crime, more than the regular things that's on the news, you know, the negative things. It really did motivate a lot of people. But I will say, them signing in 1986 and 3 years later, Shorty Pop being the most wanted fugitive of the district, I can already see that things haven't changed within a low-income area. Because my thing is this: even in my situation growing up in Berry's Farms, I have went to maybe 1 or 2 casting calls, but never really could see the future with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still thinking about what I got going on in the neighborhood, when I should really be focusing on bettering my craft. So I feel like in these low income areas, and especially in Berry Farms, it's really hard to see past where you live. It really is. And in not being able to see past it, you keep involving yourself in bullshit and you feel like you have to. And I feel like his influence speaks very loudly to me because while a lot of it was negative, that's something that I'm not used to, or my generation is not used to. Having to really go out there at a young age and do what you gotta do. And not do what you gotta do like everybody gonna think is right, but you'll be surprised at what people rationalize in the hood because it's a part of survival. With a lack of opportunities, a New York nigga coming by with, you know, this and that, it just makes me very sad for Shorty Pop because it's just for looks. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this nigga with the flashy car, out of town, got the bricks, whatever the case is, ended up snitching. And also, I was watching The Real Gully TV, and he was speaking on Shorty Pop and his childhood and development, and it really did make me think. And I feel like I can answer those questions about, you know, the development just from experience living in the same place. Well, The Real Gully TV had questions about his childhood and development. And one thing, or a couple things that I can say, is it is a real issue in DC in general. And it's a real issue specifically in Berry Farms. To me, it has always been a issue in my head of, why are they sending you out of the house this early? It's the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Why does it seem that they don't care? You know? And a lot of times, and I can say from my personal childhood, you feel that outside is safer than in the house. You feel that you will be safer outside than being in some domestic violence bullshit or smelling crack cocaine every day, or, you know, it's just like little small things that turn really huge, and it's a really big inconvenience for a child or, you know, a young teen, and they really do feel like they should be outside. It really is sad. It's a sad truth to Berry Farms and to places like Berry Farms, you know. He had a question about what would make a person go to the dark side, speaking on the brutality of the crimes and things like this. This is my thing. What a lot of people don't realize about living in poverty, you would really be surprised at how fast it can happen, first of all. And second of all, it doesn't take much. If the desperation is there and you really rationalize it within yourself, or somebody else helps you rationalize it, or however it goes, it's going to go down. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about DC, especially back in the day, I should say. That brings me to, I did a video on the differences between back in the day and in modern times, in today's time. Then after I did that video, I seen a picture of Shorty Pop, and I just stared at it. And I happened to watch The Real Gully TV speak on the look in his eyes. And to me, automatically, my thought was, it's no fear. He had the look of no fear. And it made me think, like, that's a difference between then and today's time. You know, a lot of the youth knew what they were up against. They knew what obstacles they had to face. And they were willing to go the extra mile to do what it took in their minds to accomplish the goal. That's something that we didn't have as a mindset as youngins. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. He had a look of no fear, and it's sad to say, but no hope. you know, and I've had that same look. I still have that same look until my circumstances change like 360. I'm going to have that look, you know what I'm saying, until my hope turns into reality. A lot of times it's hard to have hope in a place like this. DC in general, it's hard to, especially when you're young and you're going through a lot. I'm just speaking on my home situation, but it was a lot for a child to go through, to witness, and there was no apology. You know what I'm saying? There was no, oh shit, I'm sorry that, you know, you didn't get sleep last night because we was doing X, Y, and Z. It was none of that. The domestic violence aspect fucks with your head. You never want to see, you know, your mother get beat down. And it's just things like that that traumatize a small child, and you really start to rationalize very harsh and brutal crimes because literally that's all you've seen growing up. And one thing that I want to make clear is I'm not making excuses for anyone. You know what I'm saying? He was his own man. And listen, this is how I think. If it really don't matter how young you is, if you out here and you manage with your Spanish, it's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? You're a man. You're out there putting in work for yourself. That's what a lot of people can't do, didn't do. You know what I'm saying? They was under folks. And a lot of people still want to say that he was under Wayne Perry. No. I don't believe that, just like I don't believe that Sean Branch was under him either. Everybody was out doing what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was listen, niggas ain't putting money in niggas' pockets like that. First of all, it's not happening. You know, maybe Alpo paid some folks, but niggas ain't paying niggas for shit. You know what I'm saying? They rather just do it themselves. Like Gary, you know what I'm saying? Like Shorty Pop, and like etc, etc, etc. The list goes on and on. And that's what I be saying, because like, say I'm out doing a murder, okay, and I have my personal reasons why I want to squash this person, but in me squashing this person, that helps another person because they had a problem with him. Well, I don't really give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care that it helped you. I wasn't thinking about you. It helped you, go figure. You know what I'm saying? But you wasn't involved in this. So that's basically how I feel like it goes, how I feel like it went. In the ending of this part 1, I want to say that in speaking on anybody from DC, from New York, from whoever, I'm not making excuses for anyone. But one thing that, or a couple things that y'all really have to realize is a lot of us didn't grow up the same. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us really do rationalize very brutal situations and traumatizing shit because that's really all we're used to. And yes, we do have to work on that. And that happens with maturity. But unfortunately, Shorty Pop was not able to mature and even to separate himself from that scene. Shorty Pop will live forever as the lead singer in the Junkyard band and the first lineup, you know what I'm saying? Because there has been many replacements in the Junkyard band. So to be the lead, that speaks volumes, you know what I'm saying? To be the lead of it, and it was first coming out, you know what I'm saying? First releasing, that speaks volumes. And him being able to not so much as be the peacemaker, but be the peacemaker, you know, in an era full of chaos, you know. Anybody who doesn't know who Shorty Pop is should really study him and not take, you know, the murders that his name is attached to as, you know, something that's cool. Don't take it as something that you can look up to, because the times are different, as I said before, and the ambition, the spirit is different. Nobody can do what these young kids did. You know what I'm saying? In a very short time that they did it. Nobody should want to. It doesn't lead to a very positive place. You possibly could get out of prison. You possibly could not. But don't take the gamble. You know what I'm saying? We got to change the narrative. We got to find something else. You know what I'm saying? Or just stay down with your creativity. Especially if you are 15 and younger, just think of Shorty Pop as, you know, a guide. Bottom line, us as the youth, we have to know that we don't have to do these things, you know? We really don't. And one thing that I forgot to say was that the number one thing that I can say from personal experience growing up in Barry's Farms was that there was little to no guidance, you know what I'm saying? Even from the people that raised you, even from the people that seen you grow up. It's not a lot of guidance. It's not a lot of people telling you exactly what you need to hear. It may be people telling you, oh, go to school, whatever the case is, but shit goes down. You know what I'm saying? So it need to stop being the generic answers to the youth. You know what I'm saying? Keep your head up, stay in school. They need to know the real. You know what I'm saying? They need to be given game at a very young age so things like this don't happen and kids like Shorty Pop don't get taken advantage of. So on to the next one. See y'all tomorrow in part 2 and part 3. It's your girl theboctavia checking out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for hearing me out. And I will see you guys on my next one.